This is Bangarang Radio, a podcast network. For more shows, visit bangarangradio.com.
I'm going out, I gotta go. I'll bangarang on the radio. So turn it up, I'm telling you. I think I'm ready for something new. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. You're listening to Pop, Punk, and Pizza on Bangarang Radio.
So, I see 3 or 4 people are excited. This is going to be fun. So here it goes. I don't know what else to say about this next song except that it's the first one on the album. Enjoy.
Hello, welcome to Pop, Punk, and Pizza here on bangarangradio.com. I am Jacques, your host, and that clip that you were just listening to or watching was Real Big Fish playing in Palatine, Illinois on October 30th at Dirty Nelly's, part of their 20th anniversary tour for Turn the Radio Off. And I went to the show, obviously. That was just a crappy little video from my phone. It wasn't like anything high quality, but I just kind of wanted to, I thought it was a good way to start off the show today, considering that their trumpet player, Johnny Christmas, is our special guest today, which I was super excited to interview. All I did was shot Real Big Fish an email, shot their management and their PR people an email saying, hey, is it possible to get an interview with Real Big Fish to talk about, their 20th anniversary tour of Turn the Radio Off? Got an email back right away. And they said, yes, they'd be interested. Let's set something up. And we ended up working something out this past week. And as you can see, I'm actually recording this little intro right now during Halloween. My tie is Nightmare Before Christmas. Anyway, I hope you had a great Halloween. But there's so much that Johnny and I talked about in the interview that we're not gonna have pop punk and news this episode, which I'm sure you're fine with because you'd much rather hear what Johnny has to say. And he had a lot of stuff to say. Super nice guy. Had a great conversation with him. I actually met him a couple times before at Real Big Fish shows because I've seen Real Big Fish several times. One of my biggest influences in my musical career, and the reason why I love music so much, because not only are they amazing at their instruments and write great songs, they're just very entertaining, and that's something that's hard to capture, is write great music and also be great at entertainment. Some people can just obtain one or the other, but they have definitely obtained both and put them together, and they're glued together for life. So anyway, without further ado, here is my conversation with Johnny Christmas, the trumpet player of Real Big Fish. Enjoy. Hello.
Hey, this is Johnny Christmas from Real Big Fish.
Johnny, how are you, man?
I am spectacular. How are you?
I'm doing great now.
That's what I like to hear.
Well, hey, man, you always put a smile on my face every time I see you, so.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm not sure how I do that, but I'll keep it up, whatever.
Well, you're one of the most, friendliest guys of the bunch,
That definitely could be.
Are you disagreeing with me?
No, absolutely not. No, I'm just saying that that I'm wired that way, and I'm old enough to know that not everybody is that way.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I get you, man.
Wait, you're in Illinois, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm just south of Chicago.
Nice.
Yeah,
my
man.
grandfather and my dad was born in Midlothian, Illinois.
No way. Yeah, that's like south suburbs.
And I have no idea what Midlothian looks like.
I mean, it's, how do I even describe Midlothian? To me, it doesn't look like anything too spectacular. It's one of those suburbs that just kind of like intertwines with a bunch of other, cities in the south side of Chicago,
Yeah.
But
well, they moved away in 1949, and I guess there was a reason for it.
Oh, well, I mean, there could have been. I'm not saying Midlothian is bad. Actually, I was just there a week or two ago. I tried out this new Italian restaurant up there. I think it was called Bortolini's or Bartolini's or something. It was really good. So, I mean, there's great things in Midlothian. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I think my grandfather worked construction. He was a carpenter.
Okay.
And he couldn't handle the cold weather anymore, which I don't blame him. I can't handle the cold weather either.
Oh, it's so brutal, isn't it?
Yeah. Then we did a show in Minneapolis.
Okay.
And we were heading out to go play Moscow for the first time after that tour.
Uh-huh.
And so we went, and myself and the tour manager, and we went to this Army Navy store to buy coats, to buy really heavy jackets. And the person behind the counter, this lady, she said, "Oh, you're gonna have to get the biggest jacket you possibly can for Russia." And I know she was just trying to upsell us. But when we went to Russia, the winter was way worse in Minneapolis than it ever was than we experienced in Moscow.
Now that's hilarious. That's saying something, because you think Moscow, you think, oh my gosh, winters in Russia have to be so bad because that's how they're portrayed on TV and film and all that stuff.
Yep.
Well, I am so excited to welcome the trumpet player of Real Big Fish here to Pop Punkin' Pizza on BangarangRadio.com. You may know him as Johnny Christmas, or you may know him as John Christensen. You probably don't get John Christensen too often, right?
No, it's too hard to say. There's too many syllables.
There is, especially if you've been drinking.
Yeah, exactly. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and it's a mouthful for her. So Christmas, you can say. It's easy. So we keep it to the level of a 3-year-old. Okay,
I like that. Hey, well, congratulations. I know she's 3 years old, but still, congratulations on your newborn. Well, not newborn anymore, but you get what I'm saying. Either way, congratulations. That's gotta be.
Thank you very much.
That's gotta be hard, having a family and being on the road all the time.
It is, and she's sick right now. She's got strep throat. And my wife is at home. She had to pick up at work to take Olivia to the doctor. And so part of me feels bad for not being there and being able to help out. And then the other part of me loves what I do. We are so lucky to get to do what we get to do, to be in the band that we are in. It's a real privilege if you can keep some perspective on it. And, our job is to make people happy. And what better of a job could you have than to make people happy for a living?
Yeah, and you guys do it so well, in my opinion, anyway.
You would think after 26 years that you'd be able to get it right.
I would think so. I mean, I've been following Real Big Fish since I was, let's see, about 8 or 9 years old. So we're talking like 98, 99. So it was before you were in the band. And
yep.
And the first Real Big Fish show I ever saw was in 2001. I was 11 years old. It was actually the first concert that I'd ever experienced in general, like any kind of rock, punk, ska music. It was just my first concert, and it was with Goldfinger, and they had Zebrahead opening up on that show.
Yeah, that's the Crouching Finger, Hidden Dragon.
Wow.
Tour, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
That was my first Real Big Fish show, too, was on that tour.
Oh, no shit.
Derek Gibbs, our bass player now, was subbing for Matt Wong, because Matt Wong had to go to a wedding. Like, for some reason, he would go to a wedding for 2 weeks and ask Derek to come out and play for him for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Which is awesome, because the reason why I'm in the band is because of Derek.
Yeah.
They played at the Grove in Anaheim, and Joe said, come on. It was, he played his last show the night before, and he was coming to the show, and Matt Long was playing again. So I got to watch the bands. I got to watch Goldfinger. I got to watch Zebrahead. It was awesome. It was just an incredible show.
I agree. I was blown away being 11 years old, being at, like my first rock genre concert. Obviously, Real Big Fish isn't necessarily rock, but it's a form of rock, right?
Yeah.
And so it was funny. I remember Aaron wearing these black pants with big stars on them. They were like silver or white, I think. And this, of course, I saw him at the Chicago show. It was at Congress Theater, which is no longer in operation. And I know you've played there when you've been in the band. What's that?
Oh, that venue was gone. The Congress was gone.
Well, it's still there, but it's not in operation right now. I don't know. They had a bunch of like code violations and things like that because they weren't keeping the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you knew from going there because the place is like it's falling apart.
Yeah, that venue is so awesome and scary. So it's a theater that's 100 years old at least. And it's a real theater. So it's got the 5-story tall roof to hang curtains and stuff for actual doing musicals and plays and stuff. So you can walk up there all the way up to the top, and then there's a catwalk that goes across all 5 stories with, you can barely sit through it. And it's 5 stories straight down, and it leads you right to the top side of the dome that's there at the Congress. So you can see the dome from the inside of the building.
Whoa.
And there is a ladder and that you can climb on top of the dome, and there was no way in hell that I was going to do that.
Wow.
No way.
Oh, no.
Was I going to fall to my death through the top of the dome at the Congress Theater?
Hey,
at
least
that place was so sketchy.
Oh, it was sketchy, but it's so cool, like you said, at the same time. Really cool historic venue, but they just were not keeping it up to date and, remodeling it properly and things like that. But
yeah.
I've always wanted to see the insides of it, like you were just describing, and that sounds super cool. And but yeah, super scary.
It is really creepy, and I think my life was in a lot of danger at that moment.
Probably just from even being on that catwalk.
Yeah, or being in the building. Who knows?
That too. I mean, even in 2001, it was decapitating, and I think by the time you got there, I guess it wasn't too many years after that. It was probably like 2005 or 4 or something, because you joined the band in 2004, right?
In 2004, yeah. The first thing I did was record "We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy."
Yes.
And my first show was at Cornell University with Dashboard Confessional.
Oh wow, that's so cool! And now they're
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, now they're back in action doing some awesome stuff too.
Isn't the lead singer the singer of Blink-182 now? Or is that somebody else? I'm thinking of somebody else.
No, you're thinking of Matt Skiba, right? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, from Alkaline Trio.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I get those two bands mixed up.
Hey, it's cool. So I gotta say, congratulations on, being in the band for so long, and thanks for, honestly, I want to say thank you for sticking around. I've loved watching you and Real Big Fish ever since you joined the band, and between you and Aaron, you guys are now the oldest members, I think, in the band, right? You're the second that's been there the longest? Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. I've been in the band for 13 years, I think.
Yeah. I remember...
And,
Sorry, go ahead.
A quarter of my life, which is bizarre to think about, that I've been doing this for a quarter of my life.
Yeah, it is.
And Aaron's been doing it for over half of his life.
Yeah, right?
More bizarre. But the fortunate thing about him is he gets better and better over the years. He does it right. So the show that you saw in 2001 isn't the show that you'll see in 2015 because we're better musicians. And better performers, better at the show is much different now than it was in 2001. There's a lot less nonsense, shall I say?
Well, I know there was some stuff that happened behind the scenes with members before, but now it seems like everyone's pretty tight with each other.
Yeah. When you start a band when you're 16 years old, not every one of those people that is in the band at that time is it their dream to become a touring musician. Some people did it and found out, oh yeah, I don't like being away from home. Or some people did it and went and just the road drove them crazy.
Yeah,
that's really a thing. We call it getting the road madness.
Yeah.
And some people aren't set up to do this. Some people had families. Matt Long had 2 kids. Scott has 2 kids, and Dan has 2 kids. And I think Andrew Gonzalez has about 600 or 700 kids around the world. But
oh gosh, it is. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. When you're in a job where you can drink and smoke pot, nobody's putting the reins on you to not have you do anything that you want to do. So you can't go crazy out here. You can't, drink yourself to death. You can't. You have to have a certain constitution and know yourself to be able to function in this environment and to do it well. If you don't want to do it well, that's a whole different story. You can just self-destruct and, maybe there will be an MTV Behind the Music or VH1 or whatever the network is, because now they're combined. MTV Classic probably does that.
Right. I think it is a classic thing now. Something along those lines. I don't know. I haven't honestly watched MTV or VH1 in a long time, but yeah, they're owned by the same company, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So you either have to be a professional drinker, which some of us are, or a professional moderator and be able to do this and keep an even keel and be able to play the shows. Because the most important thing we do every day is play the shows. There's all those people that are coming, you don't want to disappoint them.
And you guys have done...
Do that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
Well, you guys have done a fantastic job over the years. I've seen Real Big Fish somewhere between 15 and 20 times. I've lost count. So since, the first time in 2001 going to 2016 now, like you said, it's not the same show. It's improved so much. Aaron's gotten much better at what he does, and then he's gotten, other different musicians to come in and do amazing performances and recording as well. So, if you saw Real Big Fish years ago, you got to go see him again because you'll be blown away, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like Real Big Fish on steroids now.
Yeah, there you go.
We are yoked. We are yoked Real Big Fish now.
Shoot the steroids. Ooh. And put down the meth.
Exactly.
Yeah. Steroids and stay away from the meth. So
yeah, exactly.
I got to ask you, before you guys hit the road for this 20th anniversary tour for Turn the Radio Off, did you guys do any rehearsals to go over some of the tunes?
Nope.
No,
Not
really?
one.
Okay. Because I know sometimes I know you guys are on the road all the time, so I know you always don't get time to rehearse before you hit the road.
Just the way that it works, we don't all. We all live near each other, aside from Billy. Billy lives in New Hampshire, and that makes it hard. We've all played these songs before, and so it just comes down to everybody doing their homework, and then having a really long sound check and running through them a couple times and going, okay, yeah, this is different. This is, me telling Billy and Nat what's going on in the recordings, because the recordings are really difficult to figure out what's going on. Some of it's kind of jumbled and buried and you can't hear it. So we did it all at sound check, and it worked out really well. We had 2 shows before this tour started. We did a beer fest, the Youth Scallywag Festival in San Diego, and then we did the Beach Golf Fest in Santa Ana. So it was nice to have those 2 shows, but we didn't get a sound check, so we didn't play any of these songs until, or the songs that we haven't played in a long time, until we played the first show of the tour in Tucson. And it really was. The one bummer was that, unfortunately, Billy's grandfather had passed away.
Oh, no.
Well, like right, like it might have been on Sunday. And so he had to fly out to go to the funeral and be with his family for a couple days. And so it was just Matt and I. So we were a bonerless horn section for that moment. And so that sucked. And, you know, it's just how life is. Sometimes you can't be there when you want to be there, and you've got more pressing things to do, like he needed to be with his family.
Right. Well, our condolences to Billy, for sure, and his family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I brought up the rehearsal question is because I've heard most of these songs played live by Real Big Fish before on the Turn the Radio Off record, except for maybe like Say 10, I'm thinking. I don't know if I've ever heard Say 10 live, so I was just wondering if you guys had to go over some of these songs, a couple times in order to polish them up for the live show. Yeah,
we played them at sound check. And everybody, fortunately, did their homework. We don't have anybody that just tries to wing it, because that's not professional. And I'm happy that we could go and play through those songs, play through Scott's Panic, play through Say 10, play I'll Never Be, and do those because we haven't done those in so long. We've done this before. We did this in Boston. Scott was still in the band, so it's got to be 6 or 7 years ago. And Aaron didn't announce it. He didn't say, "We're now playing Turn the Radio Off from front to back." And we just played the show, and nobody knew that we did it.
Wow.
2,500 people, nobody had any idea what we were doing. So this time, we're telling everybody that we're playing Turn the Radio Off from front to back so everybody can be excited about it.
Right. Well, yeah, of course, obviously it being 20 years and all. And, of course, you guys usually play, sometimes 20 to 25 songs in a night, right?
Yeah, it can get up there, depending on how much time we have.
Right. So you'll definitely hear more than just Turn the Radio Off on this tour. What's your favorite song? What's your favorite song to play off of that album? Do you have a favorite?
Off that record?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love to play Beer just because as soon as Aaron starts to play that guitar part, the guitar line, everybody just goes crazy.
Don't they?
Beer is the tune that has the least amount of horns, well, aside from Nothing, which has no horns on it.
Right.
The horn part wasn't made by the horn players. It was made by the producer, and he chopped those horn parts together and added them. So it's not like a trumpetly rewarding song to play. It's just the crowd, how much the crowd loves that, and I love that song. It's such a great tune.
It is. It's just a fun, party song, and it's a song everyone knows, obviously, because that's under Sellout. Beer is like their next most popular hit that everyone knows, I would say, anyway. I
think Beer is the most popular song that we have.
Oh, you think so?
That Sellout was, yes, absolutely. If we don't play Beer, people get angry, and not just a little angry. They get really, really mad. And
it's so true.
Where Beer has been on the end of the set. We played a festival in, I think it might have been the Download Festival in England at Donington Racetrack. And Beer was at the end of the set, and we were the second last band to play. Iron Maiden was playing at the time that we were playing.
Oh, my gosh.
Our tent was overflowing with over 10,000 people. It was ridiculous that all those people would come and see us and not Iron Maiden.
That is crazy.
And we get right to the end of the set, and they cut us off.
Oh, man.
And so the next band can come up and play. And the whole crowd just booed and threw stuff. Oh, they were so mad just because they wanted to hear Beer.
That reminds me of like in the Blues Brothers movie when the Blues Brothers start playing their song instead of playing like any country or western, and everyone's throwing their beer bottles and getting all angry because it's not, was it kind of like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Chicken wire. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the chicken wire. So speaking of beer, I remember I'm pretty sure the first time I met you was about 10 years ago, and it was at Congress. Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
And we were talking about what your favorite beer was, and I think at the time you said Dos Equis. I think it was you or someone else in the band, Dos Equis. Are you still a Dos Equis guy, or you venture into other beers now?
I would have never said Dos Equis ever in my life.
Maybe it was Dan then. I don't know. I'm trying to. I could have swore it was you. It must have been. Yeah. See, Dan was there. Maybe it was Scott. I don't know.
We were definitely early in our beer nerdy stuff at that time.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a Pilsner guy. Maybe I said a Pacifica with a lime. That could have been really early on in my beer drinking apparatus.
Sure.
But I'm a huge fan of Belgian beers. I love the super bubbly, high alcohol Belgian doubles and triples. I love like St. Veronis 12. I love Omegang's Brothers of Thelonious. I love La Fin du Monde. I love all these real bubbly, champagne-y type beers that are just excellent, that give you a headache if you have too many of them.
I agree with you, man. If I'm going to drink a beer, I kind of, like you were saying, that bubbly thing going on. I like that with my beer for sure.
Yep.
So, now, some of these questions that I got some fan questions for you, if you don't mind answering some of them, Johnny.
Sure.
Now, some of these kind of pertain more to Aaron, so I'll kind of veer away from those because they're kind of about obviously the earlier days before you were in the band.
That's okay. I know all the questions. I know all of them. I've been in the band a long time.
I was going to say, you probably heard enough stories from the early days to actually answer these. So yeah, I take that back now. Okay, so let's start with Elisa. It says, tell me about the making of Everything Sucks, the music video. Did you guys really make it with $5,000?
Oh, well, yeah. That sounds like all the Real Big Fish videos. That's the absolute budget on all the ones that we've done. Yeah, at that time there was a little more help from the record label, so they could have contributed, but pretty much the entire time it's been us paying for everything. And so that can be really rough to do stuff if everybody wants to be able to pay their mortgages and pay their rents and be able to put food on the table. So yeah, I definitely believe that was true, that it was on a shoestring budget. $5,000 sounds about right. And it's always fun to have everybody together and do something that's slightly different. Every one of these video things that I've been involved with, it's always a good time to get us together and let sometimes the different part of us come out, or the stage persona come out a little more intensely. And so they're always fun.
I agree. There's nothing like a Real Big Fish music video, that's for sure. Ever since the Turn the Radio Off music videos, they've always been entertaining and fun, just like your live shows, for sure. I do have a question for you though. Talking about Sellout, which was a huge hit, peaking high on the Billboard charts 20 years ago. I think it went to number 10. Now, like, the lyrics in Sellout, are they really comparable to, like the band's experience with Mojo Jive Records? Like, was it a sellout type situation?
Well,
as far as like, not necessarily like that you guys were selling out, but I mean like, sorry, go ahead.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
It's more a reflection of the attitudes that were going on from people in other bands or people in the scene when people got somewhat successful. That, when people see somebody do something that they would like to do, but they're not doing it. Sometimes they can be cynical, and that's kind of what it's about. Was it a sellout situation? Did we make millions of dollars from that record? No. We've barely seen any royalties from that record at all. And that one record has sold, I don't think it's gone platinum yet. It's probably really, really close, to selling a million records. It's probably sold 800,000 or 900,000. And the music industry isn't what everybody thinks it is. It's not this golden wonderland that everybody is making millions and millions of dollars. It's just like any other job. You have certain people that make a ton of money, and then you have other people that make like a normal, what the United States government calls a median wage. And that's Real Big Fish. That has always been Real Big Fish. We're not going around in limousines and retiring to our mansions. We all live in regular neighborhoods with other working class people. So it's a reflection, other bands in Orange County that really did make a lot of money, bands like No Doubt.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
And Sublime. Yeah, those people were able to do really, really well from those records that they made. And we are still a hardworking band that has to tour to put food on the table. That's why we tour so much, is because there's no other way for us to make money, because we're not selling millions and millions of records.
Right, exactly.
Or hardly any records anymore.
Right.
So it's just, a sour grape kind of reflection of what the scene was at that time.
Right.
I think people know more about how the music industry works and how that artists are getting taken advantage of, just by social media and having that tell the story of artists.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the lawsuit that Harry Shearer, the amazing Derek Smalls from Spinal Tap, is suing his record company that Spinal Tap was on for back royalties. Really?
No, I didn't hear about that
on
one.
On the movie and on the recordings and the merchandise that they've done. Can you guess how much each member of Spinal Tap has made from royalties for that movie and all the merchandising from Spinal Tap?
How much they've received? I'm guessing it's probably just some thousands, and it should be higher than that, right?
It's $84.
$84? Oh my God!
Each member of that band, those guys have earned $84 in royalties over 30 years.
Wow!
That movie came out in '84, I think. And the record company won't give them accounting of where all the money went.
That's ridiculous.
And that band has sold many more records than Real Big Fish has.
Right.
That movie is a cult classic. So
yes,
they've done, or supposedly have done really, really well. And it takes somebody that has enough money to hire a lawyer that they can pay for a lawyer to fight the lawyers for the record company to get back royalties. This is just the way that the music industry works, and it's really sad that businesses are operating this way to take advantage of those people in a position least able to fight for themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I guess that was kind of when I was asking the question about the sellout thing, because how it's portrayed in the sellout music video, it's kind of like, you're selling your soul for pretty much nothing, and they just kind of own you and take advantage of you, and you do what they want you to do. And I didn't know if, like, when Real Big Fish signed onto Mojo Jive Records, if it was actually really, like, similar to that, how, they kind of
Yeah, the stifling, like putting their foot on top of us and not be successful, didn't necessarily happen. But what they did do was nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
The band didn't get tour support. The band didn't get radio support. The band didn't get any support from the business that made this record contract to help the band be successful. It did a little bit, while the third wave was coming up, and there was some help for a little while. But as soon as things, that they saw the industry change, we just got shuffled lower and lower and lower onto their roster of artists, and it was harder and harder and harder to get any type of help from them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looked on the outside. I just wasn't sure if that was really how it was on the inside. And something I've always wondered, like the last record that was with the label, the one that you were on, We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy, that record, it really stands out to on its own, really, compared to all the other albums that Real Big Fish has put out, because it's very more jaded sounding than usual, kind of angry and bitter. And I'm wondering if that was kind of on purpose to like get dropped from the label, be like, look, this is really how we feel. And, they're going to hear this album. They're going to be like, okay, let's finally drop these guys and give them what they want, kind of thing. I didn't know if that was done kind of on purpose.
Yeah, but part of making art is it's a reflection of life. And so, yeah, part of that anger is in there. But at that point, they just didn't care.
Yeah.
And they weren't taking these songs as a reflection of the relationship from the band and the record company. They're just going, we don't hear a hit, we don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I feel like Real Big Fish tried to do that with in song or in the records Cheer Up and Why Do They Rock So Hard. They tried to conform to what the label wanted, and they still were just like, meh, we don't care. It's kind of what it seemed like anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And those records are awesome. They are some of my favorite Real Big Fish records.
Yeah.
I love Why Do They Rock So Hard. I love Cheer Up.
Yep.
They were recording Cheer Up while I was playing with Forces of Evil with Aaron.
Oh, okay.
It was neat to hear all the preliminary mixes and get to hear those songs. And the actual song Cheer Up, I think, is my favorite Real Big Fish song.
Really, out of all of them?
Real Big Fish song to play live.
Okay.
Just because I loved hearing the beginning guitar lick and the drum part and Derek playing his bass. I love that just the way that the opening of that tune feels. It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's one thing about Aaron. Like his guitar licks are just amazing, and he's one of my biggest influences as far as guitar playing, because I'm a guitar player as well. And he was always one of the ones in like, excuse me, in like the top 5 that I would always, look up to.
Yeah, he's got some great shots. He's a really talented musician, and he's got a great pair of ears. And he loves, he loves the band. He loves the craft of it. He loves, playing guitar. It's so much fun to get to do what we do, and it's easy for some people after doing it for 25 years to go, I had to play this song. It always makes me laugh when I hear somebody that has a hit song that they don't like playing that hit song.
Yeah.
This is the song while you have a career. Yes, you have other songs, but you have to embrace this and realize that people love your music, and it just happens to be that this one caught. So it should be a privilege every time you get to play it. Like every time we play Beer, and everybody just screams when Aaron starts and plays that guitar part. Every time he does that, it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's just an amazing thing to be a part of.
Yeah, I got goosebumps just thinking about it. And it's really special. And so if we can be a positive influence on people's lives with the music that we make, I know that I'm doing something good in the world, and I will continue to do it.
Well, I will tell you personally, Johnny, it's been a huge positive influence on my life. If it wasn't for Real Big Fish, I wouldn't be inspired to do all the things that I've done musically, and even just doing, this podcast and talking about how much I love music. I mean, I wouldn't be doing it because Real Big Fish has just been one of those main inspirations for me. So I got to give you a big thank you for that and tell you that it is working.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Every now and then we put a beer festival, the Fantan Brewing Fest in Chandler, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix.
Okay.
And we just finished the set, and there was a parking garage that was backed up against where the stage was. And so there were some fans back there. So I went over there, and there's people on signing autographs, and then there's this woman who's crying and hyperventilating, and I went, "Are you okay?" She's all, "I was in the Army and in Afghanistan, and you guys helped me get through that period of my life. That was really hard for me. So I ran around. I went, hold on. I ran around the fence and came over and gave her a hug and talked to her for a long time."
Wow.
How special is it that we are able to help people get through any bad part of your life? It's so special. We are so lucky that people identify with our music, and it's doing good things for people. It's you have to keep it in perspective and really appreciate how awesome it is.
And it seems like you've always been good at doing that, Johnny. You always seem to represent that well. You represent the band so well. I seriously, when you joined the band back in 2004, I was so excited because you have this great presence on stage that you just instantly, put a smile on your face. Or you put a smile on my face, seeing you up on stage because you're so happy to be there and be entertaining everyone.
Yep. I know what it's like to have a regular job that I don't enjoy. I went to music school, and things didn't work out for me in music school, so I left and was just playing gigs and teaching lessons and working odd jobs. And I always wanted to be, a rock star with a trumpet in my hand. I had heroes like Doc Severinsen and Al Hurt and Harry James and Dizzy Gillespie and Louis Armstrong, and these guys were all rock stars with trumpets in their hands, and I get to do it through Real Big Fish, and I'm really lucky to get to do it.
Yeah, if I ever pick up trumpet again, I used to play when I was in high school and grade school. I'll give you a call and see if I can get some lessons from you, because I think about it from time to time. I miss playing it,
Yeah, it's not one of those things that you can casually play. It's either you're playing all the time.
Yeah.
And it works,
yes.
Or you're not playing all the time and it doesn't work.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, I'm telling myself, if I pick this thing back up, I want to, have it in my hand, forever for the rest of time. If I do it, I just don't want to, half-ass it, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
I've been lucky to have some really great trumpet teachers, and one of my trumpet teachers, Wayne Bergeron, he's the top call first trumpet player in Los Angeles, doing all the movie soundtracks and on everybody's records and stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
He would always say that the trumpet is a jealous mistress. And there's nothing more true than that. If you leave her for a little while and don't pay attention, she's just going to slap you right upside the head.
That's a really good way to put it. That's a very good teacher for sure. Hey, Johnny, do you have a little more time for some fan questions before you go?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
This one comes from Michael. Who do you prefer touring with, Goldfinger or Less Than Jake?
Oh, Lex and Jake. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They are so awesome. Such great guys. Such a great band. Being out on Warped Tour with them was a dream. Matt and Billy and I played with them every day. We played a song with them at the end of their set every day. It takes a professional to spot another professional. This is my pet theory. And Less Than Jake, they just get it. They are entertainers. They are musicians. I see us in this long history of people that are entertainers, like going all the way back to vaudeville and the Marx Brothers. And it's not just music. It's entertainment. It's a show. And it's always a pleasure to be around those guys and watch them. I was watching them just about every day on the Warped Tour.
Yep.
And they're just a band that brings a smile to my face.
Yeah,
Goldfinger is awesome. I love Goldfinger. I love playing those songs. We are their de facto horn section. We just played with them.
Down in San Diego, right?
Down in San Diego.
Yep.
And all those songs are just magical. I really love those songs. But they're just not quite as easy band to tour with as Less Than Jake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Goldfinger they don't tour anymore. They just kind of do one-offs here and there. And Less Than Jake is still that kind of like you guys, constantly on the road. So they're a well-oiled machine. And like you said, man, they know how to entertain just like you guys do. And they're another band for me that keeps me going with inspiration. I've listened to all their records. I listen to them all the time. Great guys. I met them once or maybe twice. Always real down to earth. Just cool to have a conversation with and hang out. So that's good to know. So here's another one. This is from Maddie. Says, how do you stay so entertaining and think of so many jokes throughout the years? You guys are still so funny.
That's one thing that Aaron is constantly watching comedies, whether it be TV shows. He's just like a real fan of the craft of comedy.
Okay.
And he's good at picking up how a joke works. It's just another one of his gifts that he's able to recognize these patterns and pick up on them and then use it in a different way in what we do. So it's a lot, many movies and TV shows that he likes to watch that he just takes ideas from.
So it's not like he's just constantly working on writing songs. He's constantly thinking of jokes and gimmicks and things like that.
Sometimes, after you watch enough things just pop up in your head. And I think he has that gift to recognize those things, and sometimes they're not conscious. They just pop up after you've played so many shows and watched the same joke over and over and over in a different, like watching it on a film or watching it on a TV show. And then you can use something that's similar within our show. So it's just, he's just got a knack for it.
Yeah, he does, because there's always something different every time I see you guys. And I'm always dying laughing. Yes. It's always so funny. It really is. Every time. It always gets me. The next question is, what is the most underappreciated ska band of the last 20 years, in your opinion?
Ooh, of the last 20 years?
Yeah, I thought that was a good question.
It's probably Fishbone.
Fishbone?
Yeah. But and this would be going back further than 20 years. It's going back almost 30 years.
I was going to say, weren't they from the 80s, right?
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword with those guys because the band is so good and they have such a hard time keeping members, having a band and making money so everybody doesn't have to do other things. It's really, really difficult. And those guys are really forward-thinking, and sometimes they're willing to try stuff out, and maybe to a fault, to where it loses an audience. I think as musicians, they're one of the best bands around, and I think they're one of the most underappreciated.
Okay, that's not what I was expecting, but that's pretty awesome. I like that answer. Yeah. Okay, here's another one. This one made me laugh. How will the next president of the U.S. impact the future of ska and Real Big Fish?
Oh, man. Well, yeah.
I mean,
well, it depends on who it is.
yeah.
It most likely will be Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Most likely a good thing, because Donald Trump, unfortunately, is a narcissist, if not psychopath.
Oh my gosh, both of them are just they both bug me. I don't know how you feel, but both of them in their own ways.
Yeah. It's a weird time. Don't be afraid. There have been many times in history where things have been equally as weird. The fights in between Thomas Jefferson and John Adams were equally as outrageous. They were just 200 years ago.
Yeah.
How will it affect the bands? Part of songwriting is a reflection of the times. But we're not a political band.
Right.
I mean, that's not what we choose to reflect. We're a more a personal band. It's like what's going on in your life and what's going on within our lives, and not necessarily like what's going on in the world. Because there's enough bands that are like that do it really well. Anti-Flag, one of those bands that is just spectacular and really.
They're so good.
And we're going to be on tour with those guys in January, and I'm sure there's going to be a Chicago date.
Ooh, that's some good news right there.
Yeah, just to let you know. So it's not going to have an effect on us one way or the other.
Okay.
We're going to still be talking about things that are going on inside your head.
Right.
And about things that happen to you in everyday situations. That will make you smile and laugh about yourself and realize how silly this whole life is.
Yeah, and of course, we know if Hillary gets in office, and you might, some of your emails that go out to some of your booking agents and venues, they might get lost or deleted or something like that, So, I mean...
Yes, that's highly possible.
Yeah, it's highly possible. Somehow she'll hack into, Real Big Fish's booking agent email, and there's going to be some that just disappear. And, yeah, anyway. All right, here's...
I think...
Go ahead.
No, I'm taking the pass on that statement that I think I was going to say. Go ahead. Ask me another question.
Okay. All right. Okay, so what will the fourth wave of ska look like, and will it be as big or bigger than the third wave?
Yeah, it's going to take a scene. It's going to take more bands getting together. It just happened that we were in the right place at the right time. And it was, I think, the whole ska scene is a reflection of not only the history of ska, but of the place and time that you're in. And California in the 90s, it's much different than it is in Chicago. We have 350 days of pure sunshine and the beach, and I think that California is the most beautiful spot in all of the world. And if you haven't been out here, you need to come out here and visit Yosemite, and it will make your jaw drop. The fourth wave, it's going to take something similar happening in a different spot, and it may not come from the United States. It may come from England. It may be like that. It may go back, because ska started in Jamaica in the 50s, and then it got transported to England in the 70s and the 80s, and then that got transported here to California, here to the United States in the 80s and the 90s. So it's going to take another band having a radio hit, or like some type of YouTube hit, and starting a scene for there to be a fourth wave.
Yeah.
But it's all cyclical.
Right.
Sometimes we think that this is the end of it. No, you can't keep this music down. You can't keep music that people want to come to and smile and dance at down. I think a lot of journalists, shall we say, don't take what we do seriously, and that kind of bums me out.
It bums me out too. Yeah.
I think the music that we perform is valid. It's helping people's lives. It's fun. It takes you out of your everyday. That a lot of people's lives just suck. And if they can come to a Real Big Fish show or put on a Real Big Fish album and smile for a minute, that is making the world a better place. And I think those people that don't take us seriously haven't seen us play live. And I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, I agree with you, because if I'm in the worst mood in the world and I put on a Real Big Fish record, or if I go to a Real Big Fish show, mood instantly better. No questions asked.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Definitely all it takes. All right, I'll throw one more at you. What's an interesting fact that most people don't realize is a part of being in a ska band in 2016?
Interesting fact.
Yeah. Or maybe it could be like what's something most people don't realize about Real Big Fish, something that most people assume that's incorrect, or you could throw it that way too.
As it's our job. As silly as that sounds, this is what we do for a living. It's our job. And we're just like all the rest of you. We wake up and have to put on our clothes and go to sound check, and it's not always easy. This job is definitely not always easy, especially when the whole band gets sick. And we can't call in sick.
No.
And go, I don't feel well. I'm not going to play the show. No, you're going to go on in spite of it. There's one show that I missed due to being sick, and I had bronchitis, and they took me to the hospital. And I felt horrible that I was missing that show. I felt like I let all my brothers down when I couldn't do that. It's still a job. It's a career, but it still has ups and downs. It's still not easy all the time. Especially that's the big thing for me, is getting sick. Because then it's hard to sing, it's hard to play trumpet. Trumpet's really, really a physical instrument, and it just makes things really hard. And you still have to go out there and put on your smile, and put on this awesome show that we do, and not let anybody know that you're sick. Fortunately, always after we're done playing, you always feel better. No matter what, after jumping around for an hour and a half, you definitely feel better than when you started the show.
Yeah, it's like a high or something. You got this high after you've done something so full of adrenaline. Yeah,
definitely, and it gets you on through. As soon as the lights come on, you hear the crowd. It's like flipping a switch, and we're again very lucky to have people that come up to the shows and support us. Because without having great fans like everybody that's listening to the podcast, we wouldn't be able to do this.
I agree, man, and we thank you for pushing yourself when you have to, or when you need to, when you're sick like that, and it means a lot to us, that's for sure. All of us fans that go to the shows. So speaking of, you can check out Real Big Fish on their 20th anniversary of Turn the Radio Off. You're in Omaha tonight, right?
We are in Omaha tonight. Omaha.
Is it Omaha or Omaha?
Yeah, Omaha.
Okay.
Omaha.
There we go. Middle of cornfields. Of course, that's really anywhere in the anywhere in the Midwest, really. And then I'm going to be seeing you guys tomorrow night. I'll be at the Palatine show at Dirty Nelly's, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And
well,
then,
make sure you say hi.
Yeah, no, I plan on it for sure, especially, after doing this podcast, Johnny. It really means a lot to me that you took the time out from your busy schedule and everything, because I've been on tour before. I know what it's like. There's always something going on, something you got to do, so Thank you so much for that.
Well, we will have a beer tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The show.
That'd be great after the show.
Bar,
I'll be there.
The bar in the front of Dirty Nelly's should be open, and they have really, really good beer.
Yes, they do. Dirty Nelly's is a really it's one of the best places in the Chicagoland area for sure for like music and just to hang out. So
yeah, it is a good venue.
And they're the 20th anniversary tour for Turn the Radio Off. It's going to run through the 19th, and you can go to real-big-fish.com at all the dates and to get tickets and all that fun stuff too. And of course, you guys said you got a tour with Anti-Flag coming up in January, so that's really exciting as well.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I don't know if I could have, I was allowed to tell you, but I told you. I let the cat out of the bag.
Whoops, cat's out of the bag. Oh,
yep,
well.
Whoops.
But before you go, I do have one last question for you. I was going to ask you earlier, pertaining to this tour. Are any of the original members possibly going to be joining you on any of the dates? I know Scott joined you guys on some New York City dates. Was that a couple of years ago, right?
Oh, the last time we were in New York City, he came out and played.
That's what I thought.
So
okay.
every time, as long as he doesn't have a prior commitment, he'll come out and play. Dan will come out and play if we have a Southern California show.
Okay.
And those two guys still love the band and want to come out and play. So there's no Southern California date on this tour, but maybe in January, maybe Dan will come out and play a song with us.
Okay. And yeah, actually, there's no New York date either, I don't think. For there's no New York City date, I should say. There is a New York date, but not in the... I don't know. Is Scott in New York City, or is he just in New York?
Yeah. No, he lives in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Oh, my brother lives in Brooklyn. Okay.
Ah, great.
Cool. Yeah.
So if we play at the Brooklyn Bowl or play at the Sony PlayStation Theater,
okay,
he will come out to those shows.
Okay, cool. So
maybe in January.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe in the winter. Yeah, for sure. Okay, yep. Well, Johnny Christmas, trumpet player from Real Big Fish. Once again, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on to Pop Punk and Pizza here and talking about the 20th anniversary of Turn the Radio Off, because that record changed my life. I remember, being a little kid, just putting that record on repeat and then doing that with every record that's come out since then that Real Big Fish has put out. So,
thank you so much.
No, thank you. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night. It's always a good time. So.
And we will have a beer and listen to beer.
Yeah, there we go. We can have one of those Belgium. You can show me or. Oh. Yeah, tell me which Belgian beer you like the most, and I'll try it, and I'll see what I think of it. So
yeah, we can change your life tomorrow.
Yeah, you can change what I drink. This could be a life-changing moment. It could be. I mean, it's going to change my body. It's going to do all kinds of things for me. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Some of them have been good.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else you want to say to everyone before we go, Johnny?
If you have a band that you love, go see them live. Go support them in some way. I know it's hard with how easy it is to get music now, but go see that band live because it will change your life.
Yes.
And you're helping that band stay alive so they can continue to make great music for you. Go buy a T-shirt, buy a record if you want, and so we can all continue to make great music for you.
Yeah, merchandise is key at a show. That helps out bands a lot, besides buying a ticket to their show. Yep. If you buy, a shirt, whatever it is from their merch table, it goes a long way. So, especially considering there's usually a lot of fans don't even realize this, but the venue will charge a merch rate at usually at most venues. So, like, they'll take 10% of their merch sales. So, so if you buy something...
80-20.
80-20? Okay. I remember when I was doing a tour with, you remember the band Trapped? They had the song Headstrong. It's huge back.
Yep, we played shows with them.
Okay. Oh, really? Wow.
Yep.
I was working on a tour with them for about 3 weeks, and I was their merch guy. And most of the
great.
Yeah, most of the venues were like sometimes they were 10, sometimes they were 15, sometimes they were 20. I guess it depended on where you were at and that sort of thing. But it's always I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of a bummer, But it's business, so it's understandable.
It is.
Yeah. All right, Johnny. Thank you so much again, man. Johnny Christmas, trumpet player for Real Big Fish. And, I'll see you tomorrow, man.
Okay. Well, have beers. Talk to you later.
All right, man. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Unfortunately, Johnny and I didn't get to have that beer we talked about, though. I actually waited for him. After the show, I couldn't find him, and I wanted to say hello. I'm sure there'll be another time, Johnny, because I'll definitely be going out to some more Real Big Fish shows. So, but before I leave you today, I completely forgot to ask Johnny about his pop-punk pick of the week, and I always ask my special guest what they're currently listening to and jamming out to this week, and I completely forgot to ask him, but I want to go ahead and give you mine.
Pop Punk Picks of the Week.
3, 2, 1.
So my pop punk pick of the week is actually a ska band that I saw at the Real Big Fish show. They're currently on their Turn the Radio Off 20th anniversary tour. They're called Stacked Like Pancakes. They're a newer ska band from the East Coast, and I thought they were really good. I enjoyed them very much. I bought their record, which is called This Is Us, and the song that I'm digging from it, it's called It's Too Late. And if you like what you hear, you can go to stackedlikepancakes.com, and all their links are there to their social media, their music, and all that stuff. You can stream them on Spotify. You can buy their record on iTunes. So yeah, Stacked Like Pancakes, It's Too Late from their This Is Us record right here at Pop Punk and Pizza on bangarangradio.com.
Listen, we are our own worst enemy, but it might take more than a shitty cliche to say it all and say it right. So give us your attention for a minute or two. A little intervention never hurt you. These are the words of an undead nation, and the least you could do is pick up your feet and move. I don't even care. Why should I give in to all the bullshit? If I don't, I might lose it all. I don't want to lose it all. It's too late, it's too late. Oh, it's too late. Somebody already opened up the door. I thought I wanted it more. It's too late, it's too late. Don't ever tell me it's too late. Just tell me what it's like on the other side. Okay, slow down, feel it out, welcome in some new sounds. I compose every line, decomposing dime, this time I can feel it. You know what? Never mind, I wanna keep it to myself. I can run it by you, but I need it for my health. I'm a king designing signs that point to one thing. I'm not normal, you're not normal. Cause we're surrounded in more immoral leaders and liars and thievers, oh my. But we can still dream, let me show you what I see. Cause people telling me what I can't do is what fuels me. It's too late, it's too late. Oh, it's too late. Somebody already opened up the door. I thought I wanted it more. It's too late, it's too late. Oh, it's too late. Somebody already opened up the door. I thought I wanted it more. It's too late, it's too late. Don't ever tell me it's too late. Just tell me what it's like on the other side.
there you have it, my pop-punk pick of the week, Stacked Like Pancakes, which is obviously a ska band. That's their song It's Too Late from their latest record, which is called This Is Us, came out last year, and they're currently on the 20th anniversary tour for Turn the Radio Off with Real Big Fish, so you can find them through November 19th, I believe. You go to real-big-fish.com to buy tickets for that tour if they happen to be coming to a city near you still for this tour. If not, as you heard in the interview with Johnny Christmas, they're going to be coming back out on tour in the winter with Anti-Flag, which is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Anti-Flag. The last time I saw them was with, they did a co-headlining tour with Less Than Jake about it's been 3 years ago already. And that was the first time I'd seen Anti-Flag in quite a few years, actually, and always impressed by their set. Really amazing tight punk band. But anyway, so just one last time, thank you so much to Johnny Christmas, a Real Big Fish, for coming onto the show and talking with me today. Hopefully, next time you come out to Chicago, Johnny, we'll be able to have that beer and say hi to each other. And hopefully, I'd love to have you back on the show if you're interested as well. And also, just a quick reminder, please like Pop Punk and Pizza on all our social media sites. You can follow us on Twitter at Pop Punk and Pizza Pod. Also, Instagram at Pop Punk and Pizza Podcast. And, of course, you can like us on Facebook. And then the Bangarang Radio Podcast Network, you can follow them on Twitter at Bangarang Radio. Also, like them on Facebook as well. And if you're in a band and you're interested in coming onto the show, or you want me to play some of your music, if I like it, if I like what I'm digging by you, you can definitely come onto the show. I try to keep it as true as possible to what I like. So shoot me an email at bangarangradio@gmail.com, and we can get you on the show or get your music played for Pop Punk Picks of the Week. And hopefully we'll be able to work something out. So once again, I'm Jacques Lamour. Thank you so much for tuning in to Pop Punk and Pizza on bangarangradio.com. And next week, I believe I'll be talking to Colin of Pop Punk Wayo from Chicago. And we're going to be talking about Yellowcard's final show in Chicago. That's coming up this weekend, November 3rd and 4th. They're playing 2 sold-out shows at House of Blues in Chicago, and I'll be going to one of them. So we're going to be talking about Yellowcard once again here on the show. And how could we not, since they're saying farewell completely. They'll be done. The band will be done next year. So make sure you check them out on their final world tour if you can, yellowcardrock.com for tour dates and all that fun stuff. Until then, I'll see you later. Hope you had a great Halloween as well.
Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza.